It occurred during my return trip from vacation to visit family. Normally, I opt for flying rather than driving for extended periods, but this year, flight tickets to my destination were exorbitantly priced. A round-trip flight covering only a few states would have set me back $1,000. Despite having my plans meticulously arranged to return a few days before work commenced, a blizzard struck on the day I intended to depart, forcing me to delay my journey by an additional 2 days. The roads, now devoid of holiday traffic, stretched ahead, far from major cities, making for a solitary drive. The biggest challenge was battling sleepiness and warding off boredom. The initial 8 hours breezed by without any issues. Fatigue had set in, but the snow-covered roads kept me attentive. Around 10 p.m., with a hotel reservation in a small town just 2 hours away, a small light appeared in my rearview mirror. It was the headlights of a vehicle behind me, the first I had encountered on the road for over an hour. The lights rapidly grew closer, indicating a swift approach. Soon I discerned it was a sizable van. The road was a single-lane route, leaving me with no option to shift lanes. I anticipated that the fast-approaching van would overtake me given its speed. However, upon reaching my car's rear, it matched my pace and lingered behind me. After a few moments, it became apparent that they had no intention of passing, and we continued in this manner for nearly 10 minutes. The situation became unsettling. The deserted road heightened the discomfort of having a massive van tailing me. The proximity was abnormal. I couldn't even see their front bumper or license plate in my mirror. Feeling uneasy, and with the gas station exit approaching, I decided to turn off, hoping they would continue on the road, allowing me to create some distance. Nevertheless, as I navigated the exit ramp, the van stayed right behind me. I pulled into a gas station and parked near a pump, only for the van to follow suit at the pump behind me. In that moment, confusion reigned. I couldn't discern whether something ominous was transpiring, or if my anxiety had gotten the better of me. I was aware that it was the only gas station in the last 30 minutes, so it wasn't surprising that they also needed to refuel before continuing their journey. After turning off my car, I surveyed the surroundings. The lights were off in the gas station's store section, with a closed sign on the door. Glancing both ways, I found nothing but empty darkness, a desolate field covered in snow, with a lone road cutting through it. Checking the mirror, I noticed a man standing by the van, engaged in refueling. Deciding to follow suit, I got out and began filling up. As the gas meter's numbers gradually descended, the man swiftly returned the pump and closed the gas tank lid. When I looked back, he was heading towards the back of the van. Suddenly, a loud scraping sound marked the opening of the rear door. In that moment, whether driven by a premonition or instinct, I felt the need to leave. I pulled the pump from the car, and almost instantly, 3 men charged at me from the back of the van. Discarding the pump, I hurriedly retreated into the car, slamming the door shut just as one of them tried to yank the handle open. Trembling, I worked hastily to start the car. All 3 men circled around, attempting to open every door, only to sprint back to their van before I could pull away. As I sped off, I witnessed them driving in the opposite direction on the road we had traversed earlier. I promptly reported the incident to the police, but I never received an update. The unsettling realization dawned on me that they were likely attempting abductions under the cloak of darkness on a desolate highway. The confidence and almost professional execution of their operation were deeply frightening. It seemed that once they realized I was securely in the car and the task wasn't going as planned, they swiftly vanished without uttering a word to each other. It was as if they had executed such operations numerous times before. The chilling question lingers. What might have transpired if they had succeeded in grabbing me? While I was fortunate to escape, I urge everyone to learn from my experience, as not everyone might be as fortunate. In 2019, I held a part-time job as a delivery driver for a local pizzeria close to my school. I often worked after school hours, striving to cover my car expenses and rent. While it may not have been the most glamorous job, it provided a means to support myself through college without draining my finances. This particular night started like many others in the beginning. I commenced my shift at 6, putting in 3 consecutive hours before taking a lunch break. Resuming work at 9:30, I accepted the next order and headed to the specified location. However, the address didn't match the typical residential setting I anticipated. The route led me away from homes and shops, guiding me to a business center characterized by small office buildings and little else. As I drove down the unfamiliar road, I couldn't identify any addresses, relying solely on the GPS for guidance, hoping it would lead me to the correct parking lot. Upon making a turn, I traversed a lengthy parking lot until I reached the front of the building, where I finally confirmed the address matched the reservation. However, something felt awry. The parking lot lay deserted, devoid of any vehicles, and the office building displayed no signs of occupancy. I scrutinized the address, wondering if there was a mistake, but it was accurate. I even conducted a Google search to check for similar addresses nearby, but to no avail. It was the correct location. Exiting the car, I surveyed the surroundings before cautiously approaching the glass door, its dark tint obscuring the view inside. I knocked on the door and took a step back, patiently waiting. The door opened promptly, revealing a middle-aged man dressed casually, sporting a gentle smile. He expressed his delight that the food had finally arrived, mentioning that everyone was hungry. Peering behind him, I observed no one else in the vicinity, except for a solitary light casting its glow down the corridor. My attention momentarily flickered over it, but I quickly refocused, providing him with the total amount for the order. Noticing my gaze, he hastened to clarify that the rest of the gathering was in the break room on the 3rd floor, engaged in a corporate party. I smiled courteously, but the man's enthusiasm felt somewhat forced. He reached into his wallet, handing me the payment for the pizza along with an additional $10 for the tip. However, he presented me with an unexpected request. He asked for my assistance in transporting the pizzas to the 3rd floor. The situation felt awkward, given the generous tip he had already given. While it seemed like the polite thing to do, carrying a few pizzas wasn't a substantial effort, and it appeared unnecessary. Without waiting for my response, he walked away, gesturing for me to follow him towards the door leading to the stairs. I trailed behind him, maintaining a cautious distance as we descended the stairwell. Upon entering, a chilling draft enveloped me, and I observed that all the lights were off. Only a faint glow from a small bulb in the hallway illuminated the entrance to the stairs. The man proceeded to ascend, but halted when he noticed I wasn't following. Attempting a light-hearted comment about the dimness, his smile swiftly faded as he saw my reluctance. Anger flashed in his eyes as he rushed toward me without hesitation. In a split second, I tossed the pizza to the floor, darted out the door into the hallway, and sprinted towards the exit, finally reaching my car. I glimpsed the man partially emerging from the front door before retracting and shutting it. I promptly dialed the police, finding refuge in another parking lot. By the time they arrived, the man had vanished, and his cash payment offered no clues to his identity. The office building, devoid of occupants, confirmed that it was indeed a trap. The enigma of what awaited me on the 3rd floor remains unknown, and I fervently hope it remains so, shrouded in perpetual mystery.